Think zoos are a safe forever home for animals? Think again. Some creatures were so out of control they actually got banned. Yes, kicked out of the zoo. From chaos-causing troublemakers to escape artists, here are 5 animals that got the boot, and the shocking reasons why. Number 1. The Twitter-famous cobra escape. When a venomous snake escapes at the zoo, that's nightmare fuel for officials. But in one case, it became a social media comedy. In 2011, the Bronx Zoo in New York had a young Egyptian cobra go missing from the reptile house. This deadly snake, venom can kill in 15 minutes, was loose somewhere in the zoo, or God forbid, the city. The zoo closed that building and launched a massive search. New Yorkers were on edge. Is there a cobra on the subway? A clever person started a parody Twitter account at Bronx Zoo's Cobra, tweeting as if they were the snake on a citywide adventure. The cobra tweeted things like touring the Statue of Liberty, "No, still haven't found a mouse worth eating," and "Don't tread on me, I'm at Times Square." Within days, the snake's Twitter had over 150,000 followers, including celebrities. Even the mayor joked along, tweeting he hadn't seen the cobra at a museum tour. This escapade turned from scary to absurdly funny, with the whole city playing Where's Waldo with a poisonous serpent. After a week of lurking in a dark corner, the real cobra was found on zoo grounds. It never left the reptile house complex. Whew, the snake was safely recaptured. But you better believe that Cobra got an enclosure upgrade. No more sneaking out. The Bronx Zoo cobra wasn't exactly banned. She's an exhibit again, but her roaming privileges revoked for life. The zoo was lucky the story ended in laughs, not bites. This incident became an object lesson. Lock your snake tanks tight. It's a good reason some zoos avoid keeping extremely venomous snakes, or at least heavily fortify their enclosures, because if they escape, you might end up with a viral Twitter sensation and a lot of explaining to do. Number 2. Penguin number 337, Tokyo Drift. This 1-year-old Humboldt penguin lived at Tokyo Sea Life Park until the little daredevil decided to scale a 13-foot rock wall and squeeze through a tiny gap in the fence in 2012. The zookeepers were stunned. The enclosure held 135 penguins, but number 337 said, "I'm built different." The penguin popped out into Tokyo Bay and went on the run, swim, for 82 days. Sightings of a lone penguin in the bay started rolling in. The Coast Guard even filmed it, frolicking in the water, looking healthy. As if on vacation, this became big news in Japan. City residents by the bay were like, "Wait, is that our missing penguin?" Sure enough, it was. 337 evaded capture for nearly 3 months, apparently living off fish in the bay and sleeping on the shore at night. Experts were impressed. Water in Tokyo Bay isn't the cleanest, and concerns about radiation post-Fukushima had people worried. But this plucky penguin thrived, like an avian Jason Bourne. Eventually, keepers recaptured number 337 after a tip and returned the escapee to the aquarium's colony. I imagine the other penguins gave a hero's welcome. Teach us your ways, oh great escapee. Post-capture, the aquarium made sure no other penguin could repeat that stunt, likely adding extra barbed wire or higher walls. Penguin number 337 was effectively banned from any more field trips. You can't exactly punish a penguin, but maybe they gave it a stern talking to and extra sardines for not dying out there. This little rebel's adventure showed zoos that even seemingly happy animals might bolt if given the chance, especially penguins, which literally wear tuxedos and apparently yearned for a night on the town. Good reason to tighten security? Absolutely. Tokyo doesn't need rogue penguins waddling around its fish markets. Number 3, Ben the Bear. Too cool for St. Louis. Ben is an Andean bear, spectacled bear who lived at the St. Louis Zoo, emphasis on lived, past tense. In February 2023, 4-year-old Ben pulled off not 1 but 2 escapes in 1 month. He found a weak point in the steel mesh of his habitat, bent it open, bears are crazy strong, and on February 7th, he was discovered wandering outside before the zoo opened. Keepers tranquilized him and brought him back with no harm done, so they reinforced the mesh with heavy-duty clips. but Ben said, "Challenge accepted." Just 2 weeks later, he escaped again, during visiting hours this time. The zoo had to announce a code red lockdown. Guests hustled indoors as Ben roamed a visitor path like it was no big deal. Again, he was darted and recaptured within about 50 minutes. Twice in 1 month, Ben clearly was over St. Louis. The zoo staff took the hint. They decided the best thing was to banish Ben to a new home designed for escape artists. In March 2023, they announced Ben would be moved to the Gladys Porter Zoo in Texas, which has a super secure bear habitat, complete with a moat as an extra barrier. They diplomatically said Ben's specific and unique personality required a different setup. Translation: "This bear MacGyvered out of our enclosure twice. He's gotta go somewhere. He can't Houdini out." The decision was bittersweet. The Saint Louis team loved Ben, but they knew he'd keep breaking free if they kept him. So Ben got effectively banned from St. Louis Zoo for his own good and the public's. In Texas, he now enjoys a moat he presumably can't cross. Fingers crossed. Not every zoo escape ends with "move the animal to a more secure facility," but Ben proved he's a special case. Good reason? Yep, better to relocate than risk a third escape. Ben might have gone for a tour of the city the next time. St. Louis will remember him fondly and securely. Number 4. Dallas Zoo's mysterious crime wave. Sometimes it's not the animals misbehaving, it's humans causing chaos to the animals. In early 2023, the Dallas Zoo had a string of bizarre incidents that led to animals effectively vanishing from the zoo, temporarily thankfully. It started when Nova, a clouded leopard, went missing. Her fence had been deliberately cut and she escaped her habitat. Cue panic and a citywide alert. They found Nova hiding on zoo grounds later that day. Safe, phew. But then, a few days later, an endangered vulture named Pin was found dead under suspicious circumstances, wound on its body, possibly foul play. Next, someone cut open the langur monkey enclosure, though those monkeys didn't escape. The zoo was starting to feel like a Sherlock Holmes novel. Finally, the caper peaked when 2 emperor tamarin monkeys were outright stolen. Their enclosure was also cut open, and the small monkeys were gone. Police later found the tamarins in an abandoned house miles away and returned them. Yes, really. All these incidents were linked to one man who had a strange obsession with zoo animals. He was arrested, but the mysteries left the Dallas Zoo on high alert. For a while, certain animals, like Nova, were kept off exhibit, essentially banned from public view for security until the culprit was caught. The zoo beefed up surveillance cameras, added night guards, basically turned into Fort Knox for animals. While the animals weren't misbehaving, they were victims of an Ocean's 11 style weirdo. The result, a temporary ban on normal operations. After all, a leopard on the loose and monkey napping are excellent reasons to change protocols. Dallas Zoo's strange saga shows that sometimes zoos have to ban people. That suspect got a lifetime ban from every zoo, I'm sure, to protect animals. Crazy but true. Number 5. Life the Antelope, Tragedy of a Banned Snack. Our final story is a cautionary one. Life was a rare Sitatunga antelope at Bright Zoo, Tennessee, a gentle 7-year-old with a quirky habit of following keepers around for treats. In June 2024, tragedy struck. Leaf choked to death on a piece of plastic from a visitor's trash. Specifically, some guests snuck in a squeezable fruit pouch against zoo rules, and the plastic cap found its way into Leaf's enclosure. Leaf, thinking it was food, swallowed it and obstructed his airway. Keepers saw him in distress and tried frantically to dislodge him, but they couldn't save him in time. It was heartbreaking and 100% preventable. This is why many zoos ban certain items like plastic lids, straws, or balloons on their grounds, because if they end up with the animals, it can be deadly. Bright Zoo even did bag checks and explicitly forbade those pouches, but someone smuggled one in and it cost a precious life. The zoo director was devastated and pleaded for visitors to respect the rules. If you look at these lids from an animal's perspective, it looks like food. That's why we ban them. They never identified the person who dropped the pouch, but I'd bet that person is living with a lot of guilt, as they should. Leaf's mate, a female antelope, was seen wandering and looking for him for days after. A gut-wrenching sight. This tragedy reinforced why those seemingly strict rules are in place. So in a way, this is an example of a banned item at zoos and the very good reason behind it. No one wants to see a beloved animal die because of a plastic cap. The takeaway: when a zoo says, "Don't feed the animals" or "No plastic pouches," they mean it. It's literally life or death for the creatures in their care. R.I.P. Life, your story might save others. These wild stories prove that sometimes the zoo just can't handle certain animals. Hit that like button and subscribe for more crazy animal videos.